In Keremeos on Thursday, there'll be the official opening of a horse rescue, and Gena's going to be the lady running it. Gena, how are you today?
Great, thank you.
Thanks for coming into Penticton for this interview. First of all, on Thursday, I guess you're just going to get people acquainted with what you're going to be doing, right?
Yes, I'm going to be opening up a new horse rescue thrift store in Keremeos, which is a branch of our one we already have in Penticton.
Great. People know you've been in the Princeton area. Yeah, people know you in the Princeton area. That's fine. Tell us how the service is going to work in short form then.
We're going to have a small little store, and we're going to provide clothing and kitchenwares to the people in Keremeos, not unlike the one we have in Princeton, where you can go in and get a bag of clothing for $5, and all money received will go towards supporting a horse at the rescue.
How did you get to love horses so much? Were you into horses when you were a little girl? A little bit about yourself and how you ended up in the Similkameen Valley.
As a child, I spent time in Saskatchewan with my uncle and I always loved the horses, even though he did cattle. And then when I moved back to the city, I just decided that that wasn't a place for me. So 6 years ago, I decided to sell my home and move to Princeton.
How do you like living in the Similkameen Valley?
I absolutely love it. Wouldn't trade it for anything in the world.
What's the reason for setting up in Keremeos? Is it just a good site where you're going to be? Is that why you chose to go that direction? And will you still open the Princeton one? You'll keep going with both stores then?
The Princeton one will stay open. We actually sell furniture there. There's a lot of people that are on disabilities that can't afford to buy brand new furniture, so we try to bring in good quality furniture at a price they can afford. The store in Keremeos, I decided to open there because people were coming constantly to the store in Princeton, and we have a lot of pickups that we do in Keremeos, so this will help so we don't have to make as many trips out.
When you say a horse rescue, is that if the public sees a horse that they think is in some kind of danger, or with horse owners that are having trouble getting a horse to where they want it to go? What takes in a horse rescue operation then?
Well, if people see a horse that's in distress, by all means, please do give us a call. We can go out and talk with the owners, and if the horse is in distress, we can give the owners different options. They can surrender to us, or we can help with the feed or any kind of care that they do need so that the horse isn't suffering.
Right. Can you tell right away by looking at a horse if you're driving down the road if it's being treated well? Like somebody that knows horses quite well, what are you looking for? Is it their ribs, or is it, what do you look at on the horse so you can tell if it's being treated right or if it's healthy?
There's so many different situations. It would take me too long to explain a lot. I mean, definitely starvation is one of them. You can definitely tell when a horse is being starved. Their ribs definitely show. You can see bloating in the stomach full of worms, which means that the care is not there. Also, their top of their spine, you'll be able to see, and a little nub at the back of their tail will be sticking out and sunken in usually around the cheeks and the hips.
There's going to be people listening that love animals, horses in particular in this case. Will you be asking for volunteers to help operate what you're doing?
Absolutely. We're always looking for volunteers. As it stands now, we need to get a couple of people who are willing to spend some time and come into the store in Keremeos and give Ron, who's our operator there, a hand.
What happens to the horses when you take them? Do you put them somewhere where you can mend them back into shape? And will you be taking them all to Princeton, or do you have a compound somewhere?
We take ones in Princeton, of course. The ones that are more severe and that need constant vet care will go down to my dear girlfriend Sharon at the Horse Protection Society of BC. There we have a vet, Nick Kleider, and a very good farrier, Jerry Turner, that has taken on some cases that just couldn't be helped here.
Right.
Once they rehabilitate them down there, then they're sent back to us for adoption or more care.
What got you started doing this originally? When you opened up in Princeton, did you see that there was this much of a need where you had to have a society to do something like this?
I had 2 horses that I boarded in Langley, and down the street I saw about 5 horses down there that were being severely abused. Some of them were physically abused, others were feed abused. They weren't being fed properly. And I just decided that this is something that I wanted to do and care about.
I guess you would get fairly intimate with the horses too, wouldn't you? Because you get to know them, you name them, they become yours. What do you do once they get better? Do you try and sell them or find homes for them? Is that part of the process?
Well, we do what we call an adoption. So you would come and visit the horse to see if this is the horse that's best suited for your family. We would then do a home visit. If everything was approved, then we have final adoption papers, and each horse has its own conditions. We definitely do not support any racing or breeding, but if you're wanting to resell the horse because of some issue after many years, then the new owners need to still apply and be approved by us before the horse is sold.
People that aren't close to horses but know a little bit from what they hear, they say it's quite costly to take care of a horse. Is that true?
Extremely costly, and that's why there's so much neglect going on, because people don't realize when they get a horse for themselves or family members that there's just so much it entails. You need proper hoof care, you need their teeth checked constantly, and it depends on gender also what needs to be checked.
Where does the first shortfall usually come then? Just with feeding, like even some of the things you're mentioning? I mean, I wouldn't even have thought of that, checking teeth, etc.
Well, the percentage that come into the rescue, I'd say about 99% of them have bad teeth and need their teeth floated immediately. Also, on that level, I would say that the hoofs. People don't take care of the horse's hoofs properly, especially in the wetter conditions. It can cause some serious infection and sometimes things that can't be repaired.
Part of checking the hooves, if you're a proper rider, I know that they always clean out the bottom of them first. Can people that are around horses a long time, can they see if there's difficulty coming from the bottom of the hoof that way then?
Oh, definitely. You can see if there's any separation between the wall of the hoof and the foot itself, what kind of condition the frog is in on the bottom. If the actual sole of the hoof is too soft, you know you got issues. You have to change with weather with a horse's hoof. So every kind of weather needs different kind of care.
Right. And how do you check teeth? Just by literally picking up the gums and looking?
Well, on some of them it's harder than others, but I tend to give them a treat in one hand and try and stick my hand up into the cheek of the horse and see if I can feel if there's anything sticking out.
What do you do for maintenance of teeth then? Like, do you literally take a brush like we as humans? Like, how do you maintain a horse's teeth?
Well, I would call a specialist and have the tooth man come in is actually what we call him. And he comes in, and some horses have to be sedated where others don't. And he takes a long file, and he will file the tooth so that the hooks are no longer there.
You're saying this guy knows nothing about horses, and that's fair, but I'm asking questions I think a lot of people that aren't horse people may not think about. Can we go to the compound for Thursday? What's going to be happening there? Are people just welcome to stop by and say hello then?
Absolutely. It's our grand opening Thursday at 10 o'clock. We're welcoming everybody. We'll have balloons for the children, and we'd like you all to come in and visit and see some pictures of the horses.
And can people sign up to be volunteers then too?
Absolutely.
Okay, and you're open from what time to what time then?
10 to 4.
10 to 4. Yep. Okay. I've asked you what I wanted to. Is there anything you want to get out to the public while we have you here today, Gena?
Well, I'd like everybody to know that we support the community fully, and that if there is somebody that is in need of any items, that you could call me directly at 250-295-0775, and we're always willing to help out families in need. Also, if you have donations that are for the rescue, you're more than welcome to drop by Tuesday to Saturday, 10 to 4, and bring your donations during store hours.
Okay, good. And the name of your horse rescue and your location again?
It's Outbackjacks Horse Rescue Keremeos, and it's 623 7th Street.
We'll see you on Thursday.
Thank you very much.
Gena from the Horse Rescue moving into Keremeos on Thursday. This is socountry.ca.
Thank you.